KGP Beats.
Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. Mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
I know it's a lot to digest, but that doesn't mean you should digress. Stay on the studies, knowledge is power. As man think it's always he, be a lot in man, G-O-D. Generator, operator, destroyer. Hold up, give it a chance before you throw in the towel and call it quits. Take time to think what the prophet Drew Ali did. He bankrupted the U.S. so you could be free. Brought back El-Bay, Al-Day, and Ali. He brought back civilization, founder's mainframe. Not only in appearance but an abstract strain. Brought back the constitutional folder game. I know pigs got guns, just maintain. Put the guns down. Have you lost your brain? They got nukes, tanks, and drone bomber planes. Yeah, black power, but RBG, a Moroccan flag colors. Can't you see? I know your sight is going, but you're not blind yet. It's all in your mind anyway, so don't mind threats. Life is too short. Not talking to rap pimp, calling yourself nigga when that's a chip. Cave dweller, hey fella, a monkey is who you think you are, you stupid junkie. High off ignorance and ignorance. From sheiks warning you of King Alfred plans. It's not about being in courts, but make them hear you. Declare your nationality, don't let them scare you.
Yo, the time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind
50 posts
elevation.
a day of brutality on Facebook. I know it's a lot, I still say study law books. Cause uniformed pigs, wolves with badges creep. Ready to sink teeth in cause you act like sheep. Passive and docile, needing a shepherd. And the one you choose got rooms with floors checked. Compass and square sigils with a G in the middle. Have masses follow them like he's playing a fiddle. Have masses follow them cause masses scared shitless. Stay ritless but post a world star when they bear witness. Always waiting for the rights from civil trickness. All your black leaders are on King Alfred hit list. Dirty Moors smelling like they got shit dipped. Picture for Aquarian age, make them switch hit. Like when I found 2 ounces and did a quick flip. From black to Moorish American, give devil split lips. Men walking with slit pupils and lipless. Talking my language like this is Genesis. I used to be one of society's menaces. Acting devilish makes me shake my head every time I reminisce about the past. Living fast at night, no days. Full of headaways and low-throw days. I know those days won't be coming back again. Change is good, but I still beg no friends.
Yo, the time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasted, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind
Conscious
elevation.
coons trying to school me with limited knowledge. Taught to them by overseers from Masters College. 5 G's a year, I call that robbage and racketeering. Mental slave boats got mine stacked to the ceiling with info and data. Too many more haters. Dissing the Moore's birthright is dissing yours, player. Conscious coons chasing MCA fiat paper, not to be mean, but pyramid schemes for later. Grabbing at your attention like air and don't care. Looking at a computer screen with a dead blank stare. I'm the Moorish MC, no pranks here. If you're too punk to be a Moor, just stand fair. If you scared to die, you better throw in the towel. A lot of black African groups, movements are bowel. Bow well, they say Moors, but they talking black shit. That's still brown, I think your brain's in backwards. Common sense broke his neck from a backflip. Some knowledge people get is like a crack epidemic. Nothing but denial. When I call up a Moor, they don't even watch the German Moors class with Moor and Bay. Didn't watch Moorish Connection to hip hop. NBA nigga slaves got youths in flip-flops in minus degrees like he's Bosch in Miami Beach. So hungry with money and fronts in his teeth. Of lab weed or chemicals he always reeks. Not saved by the bell, punk or rap and screech. MC Captain teach the same boys on Backstreet. Get in the booth, run through beats like track meets. I call Nia KTS and calling out as witness. Moorish MC, when I rap I spit gifts. Rapping blood clot dummies are on my hit list. Blowing through the air, no kush, just natural mystics. I stay lawful, they want me legalistic. I'm on the corner schooling young gods you call mystics.
Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation. Time is wasting, I use the mind elevation. I use the mind elevation.
KGP Beats.
The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. If I could only make you think, you would love me more than pink. Change your perception, not no wardrobe thing. Get your mind working, let your body do its thing. I beg a nation of things, not a thing. Switching up your literature, I'm the Lord of the Ring. Tree without roots, I'm no starting or no ending. Study, 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 go back and study again then. Drew Ali said one day they hound to mend them. When I see them going pound for pound with all these women stolen from Africa, show me the ship then. No, not him, a salute to the brethren. But the more and more I dig, man, it becomes life changing. Can't post everything, but half y'all sleeping. 100 facts about Baltimore, now that's amazing. But we ignore the fact, man, I can't believe it that. Bounded by course, man, I take some blame for that. Mix sacred text, yeah, with some Democrat. From below, yeah, X above that. South of Montgomery, I will never look back. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself.
Nationality is unity. POWs, that was mutiny. Most miss opportunities, pushing too much scrutiny. Never mad at themselves, always blaming boogeymen or shadows in their closets. Expect effects over causes. We honor all true and divine Asiatic prophets. Selfishness caused passwords lost, Bitcoin trapped in wallets. No man is an island, neither are continents. Lower self-wantonness, constant incompetence and confidence. Won't face the consciousness consequence, but quick to debate mores with oppositeness. Can't see we are the same. Y'all claim Abel, not Cain. Refrain is the name of the game and mind frame. Won't know thyself or know the ancestry. Won't choose to be better, but bitter like a cranberry. Giving law enforcement authority to mercenaries. Moorish holy temple of science, monastery. Noble Drew the abbot, always in habit. While we curry the jackfruit, they barbecue jackrabbit. Non-thinking turns rabbit. Don't honor the Sabbath. Colonists won't panic if you're in the dead status. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself. The rain don't fall on one man's house, so no man lives unto himself.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me upright, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Snakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astro plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a little of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no clue I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astro plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, DAR feminists, stomped on by elephants, more like go prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the cold magnetic resonance, apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no they live shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Alright, let's get something straight here, okay? If you're saying that you're a part of the Demonson Root bloodline, royal bloodline, well, internationally, you have to prove that you have that authority. So you have to do what? You have to produce a delegation of authority. And then you got to produce where your delegation of authority arise from. Okay? And you have to send this stuff out like I have. And he's no state, so he's a fraud, so he never was on my mailing list. My mailing list is the Pope, the Queen, King Mohammed VI, General Ham, the UN General, Universal Postal Union. These are my mailing list.
Interesting. Let's just see the mailing list of the writ that the Moors sent out, the international proclamation that the Moors sent out 2011 on behalf of all the Moors, not on behalf of some, limited tribal perspective, on behalf of all the Moors worldwide. Let's see who was on the Moors mailing list, who they put on notice. International Criminal Court, International Justice Court, Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, United States Justice Department, United States Secretary of State, Moroccan American Association of NC, North Carolina, Moroccan Consulate in New York,
Organization of American States, Embassy of Bolivia, Republic of Venezuela, Embassy of Cuba, People's Republic of China Embassy, Embassy of South Africa, Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, U.S. Department of Homeland Security. That was the Moors mailing list. This is just Moors came together August 4th, 2011, and put all these people on notice. Right? Put them on notice. And because this right here, because this is indigenous people's documents, we have the superior claim because we're home. There's nothing to debate about that or pull out something to show that, you got the delegated authority. You don't have to show that. You're in your own land. The people who are in your own land as a colonizer have to show delegation of authority. You don't have to show delegation of authority. You're home. Why are you showing yourself? Why are you showing yourself the title to the house when you already know that's your house? Why are you co-signing on your own mortgage? Work's been done already. Work's been done. And everybody was down. Let me take one out of Kush Day's book right now. Take one out of Kush Day's book. First World Order by the master teacher, Alim. I want to see certain other people who are claiming to be Washita. I want to see their book that they wrote before they start talking about somebody's a fraud or somebody's not a fraud or whatever. Because I know him. You all know how I know him? Tell you how I know him. To my god brother, Cujo, Grand Sheik of the Canaanland Moors. We connected from the first meeting and has been moving divinely ever since. May your higher self continue to guide you. Peace, Dr. Alim LB. 2009. 2009 has been on the record. 2009 has been on the record. This was handwritten by Crown Prince Hutan Tupac Bey. It is a treaty between the United Washita Dedogdamondia Moor Nation and the Yeru Salam Rainbow Nation. We are in a treaty with the Nuwapian Nation of Moors, the Yamasee of Mount Arafat, the Shi Clan of Yamasee Native American Moors, UN number 2421, New Atama Yamasee Nation, Shi Clan, Dynasty, UN number 2606, the Moors Order of the Round Table, the Zulu Kemetic Moors, the Moab Tiara Kitua Cherokee Nation, the Inter-American Seminole Republic, the International Society of Indigenous Sovereigns, the Indigenous Moors of Amexem Tribal Republic, Aboriginal Law Firm, Intercontinental Aboriginal Union, the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science of the World, and etc., and many of us attend the annual Indigenous Peoples Permanent Forum held at the UN, and we are all part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Chiefs are leaders, in fact, very similar to a U.S. governor. They are the instruments for executing the people's will. All monies, gifts, and other forms of donations to chief still belong to the people for relief or aid to individuals in time of need. For all the package seller people who are charging you. For all the package seller people who are charging you, but they're not telling you that all monies, gifts, and other forms of donations to chief, whoever the leader is, still belong to the people for relief or aid to individuals in time of need. Laws and decrees are issued in the same manner to assure that the voice of the chief is the voice of the people. The people and the government are one and the same. Chiefs, therefore, are one with natural law, but definitely above colorable law. Chiefs are above that. Chiefs are above the color. So if chiefs are above the color, how come they telling you about going to visit governors and stuff like that instead of just doing like these Moors and just put them on notice? Why you need to have conversations with de facto secretary guy? Why you just put them on notice? Why do you need them to acknowledge something? Because if they're de facto and they're acknowledging you, wouldn't that mean that you're de facto now? Since the de facto people are the ones who acknowledged your position? When Noble Ali told you what the position was, and then Dr. Alim came with his book, First World Order, and put it all there, from the law to the metaphysics to the history, put it all in there. 2021, let's say 2019, people popping up out of nowhere, they're the authority for something. Then when Moore's been putting in work. People almost forgot. Hemet almost died. Alim almost died. You forget. You forget serving you people? You must have forgot that people paid their dues. You must have forgot people paid their dues. The amount of dues that Alim paid. Just the Canaanland Moors. Just call on the phone anytime. And no voicemail. Anytime call, answering. There's a lot more every time. No issues. Got the lifetime opportunity to lecture with two of my master teachers. On stage with them. You're really gonna talk crazy? That I don't care what you say you did. I don't care what you say. My interaction with Dr. Alim and Kadira El-Bey have been nothing but on point. Nothing but on point. So anything you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know. And again, we showed you 2011, then we showed you 2009, where things are put on the record already. Things have been put on the record, right? and go back again, because you're not realizing, right? So when Ali Muhammad was a Bey, because you know all these Moors, they gave up their birthright, and they started doing the we're the chief. We're the chief of the whatever. Come and be part of our stuff, which is the same thing that 2022 Washita people are trying right now. Trying. Principal questions, answers for nationals. Right? No, you're not reading anything. Go get the book. Go get the book. Let's go. Message Dr. Alim. Hey, I was on Canaanland Moore's IG and I saw you have a book. I didn't know you had a book. And then go buy the book. And get what you got when you bought Pleasant Bay's book, Exhuming of the Nation. Slaps. Slaps all day, every day. You don't even know what to do with yourself. So much slaps. You don't even know. Too much. Just too much. First order. Dr. Alim. Oh yeah, remember the Washita section. So this is the Washita section. This is the Washita Indigenous whatever section. Chapter 1. Just to give you an intro. Right? The other thing that's interesting is when you go on their site, they say home, Imperial Declaration, whatever. And you go Imperial Declaration, they have their stuff up there. These are Moors, remember. These are Moors, right? Scroll in. You got their writ up there and their decree, pardon me. And their decree up there. Right. Now, these people are Moors. These people are Moors. Where's the Moroccan flag at? Where's Old Glory? So is this really a nation, or is this a subsidiary of a nation that some people, because they got sovereignty, they're gonna be their own nation? It's really interesting that you can go to if you go to the homepage, the Moroccan flag hiding right there. But it seems like they have their imagery, their royal sovereign emblems and symbols higher than what Noble Drew Ali brought. And tell me about some crown and all this. Like why is the empire that Noble Drew Ali was talking about not present in their Moorish presentation of being a government and an empire and a whatever? Because we got sovereignty. We can make our own flag. But if we had a flag that's 50,000 years old, why would I make my own flag for? Like, what's the purpose of me making a flag if there's a flag that's 50,000 years old? Why would I need anything else than that? What would be the purpose of having anything else than that? Or is this getting into some type of egomaniac thing? You know, the same thing that happened when Drew Ali transitioned and all these people wanted to be the man. Why did all these people want to be the man? Why can't everybody be the man? Why do you got to be the man? Who are you? Yeah, good point. And then the crown is really a crown. It's not a fez or a turban. You're a Moors? Yeah, you people aren't Moors. No way you're Moors. How's the theme crown? And you're a Moor and you're actually looking at a crown as being the crown. You didn't think a fez or a turban would more suit? Yeah, and this is the same stuff, you know, people talking crazy about RV Bay and talking crazy about Taj and talking crazy about Alim and talking crazy about Asir and talking crazy about all the master teachers. Oh, Anaida, she doesn't this and that. You know how much dues people paid? Like, you know how much time people put in so that we can try to start figuring this stuff out? Make an attempt to figure this stuff out? You know how much dues got paid? You know how much dues got paid by people you don't even know about? People who aren't in the public, who don't even want any recognition. And they're not even getting the spotlight on them, and they're putting in 500%. They're putting 550, 600% in. And they're not even looking for shine. They're just doing it just because. So there's this thing that happens with this Moorish paradigm that people get inflated egos when they get into the Moorish paradigm and they get a title. And they figure they could do whatever they want. And they can talk crazy about whoever they want because they have some title from wherever they got it. I don't care where they got it. I'm going back to 2009, copyright. Where's these people's book at? Where's their book at? That's all they got, a site to show you? That's all? All they're showing you is a site and some crowns? They show you a site and some crowns and you're impressed?
So they try to say, why ain't nobody, I don't have to tell you anything about my state unless you're under my state. All right, so the State Department in 2015 when I sent them mission statement out. They had an issue with this guy they call Khufu Ranu Z. Samsonil, Thunderfire. They said, we need to know who he is, because he signed the contract. So I had to write a declaration, as you see, so that I could explain who this emperor is. Okay? So inside of explaining who I am, being a true sovereign, I also created an imperial CMYEIMPERIAL government decree to establish our state. So when you read through this, as we're getting ready to go, when Barack said the active state, the cruise ship, not a speedboat, I sent him that active state. So with someone to come out and claim or even try to attempt to attach themselves to the 8 Marquis de Masson rules, and you de facto, you have no venue, everything you do is behind the queen, well, I'm outside the queen. I'm outside of the Pope. I'm outside of Joe Biden and your president. They know who I am. I'm the best kept secret. But now as I'm moving my ship forward, it's going to shake a little, fellas. But if someone is trying to attach themselves to a royal throne in a de facto situation and claiming that some freak matter, some secretary of chief from my property and my state gave him authority to be a prince, no. Like I'll show you in a minute, that's my property. And Crown Prince Ramses Bey set that property up through that prince with chief status. Okay? So when we get down to the treaty, if Tahiti is on here, peace be upon her, I done told her this several times. He made Crown Prince Ramses Bey.
You heard my. Is there the egomaniac in him? It should be obvious that people strayed away from Drew Ali and his teachings. Hear what Noble Drew Ali told these Moors. So Noble Drew Ali brought divinely prepared. O thou the favorite of heaven. Oh, this is magistrate and subject chapter. O thou the favorite of heaven, whom the Son of Men, thy equals, have agreed to raise to sovereign power and set as a ruler over themselves. Consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of thy station. Consider the ends and importance of their trust, these people who gave you their sovereign power, that you're using to parade around, you're the prince of the thing. You're the prince and your property. So like it's okay, so if the empire is your property, then me being part of that, what does that make me? Obviously I'm not sovereign if that's his property, and then you go be part of it and think that you have some type of claim or position. That doesn't sound like birthrights to me. That doesn't sound like birthrights. That sounds like we got this nation that we created. Come get down with us. We created a nation for the Moors, for our own language and our own this and that. Right? Remember, listen. Thou art clothed in purple and seated on a throne. The crown of majesty investeth thy temples. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand. But not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thine own, but the good of thy kingdom. Sovereign. If you're so sovereign, if you're so ruler and you have the scepter of power, well, all that stuff you're parading around with, that wasn't given to you to parade around for yourself. You got any titles or whatever like that, they better be doing the will of the people. If they're not, they're criminal. And that's treason, and they should be hung for treason, for playing club games with the birthright. Because there's no way that two Moors who are doing right can't settle their differences to do more right. There's no. Why wouldn't you? Love is the first principle. Like, what's the issue? What's the issue? And it's only because it's Dr. Alim and he's Moorvengers. Why we're doing this? And then the Moor who sent me all the stuff that we were building with yesterday. You know, gotta take this in and yeah, took it in. And somebody's playing games. And they Dr. Alim, because we've been riding since 09. Right? And really 05, 06. We just weren't Moors yet. Didn't even register that we're different. That he's something different than us. Because he has El Bay. Another brother. They call them Moors, you know, those guys are over there. Realize how connected we are to this. That the Moorish paradigm is it. And when we were hunting for something, knew something was missing. And we were hunting. And found out about Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish movement. The Moors who put us on, this is some of the first reference points that we gave that made them know that we knew what we're talking about. You know, because we've been studying the metaphysical master teachers. You know, and that's 2002, 2003. Been riding with the metaphysical master teachers. Well, there was something there that the Black history stuff didn't do. You know. Yeah. There's no sole authority than Noble Drew Ali. He's it. Anybody after him is a disciple, and they should be on the plane of where he's at. Like we said, we're going through these people's whole stuff. Ain't no Moroccan flag there. They're not repping for the Moorish nation. They're repping for something else that's Moorish. It's not for the Moorish nation. They even have the flag displayed, but they got 500 crowns all over the place. Crowns for days. Everything else. Imperial Royal House of the whatever. Empty page. Empty. Two suns. A picture of two suns is the Imperial Royal House of Tunica Thunderfire. Right? In the continental Moorish Yamaxi Empire organic structure. Six-point star. Crowns. 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 U.S. banner. Eagle. Ankhs. Still can't see. They got ankhs and pyramids up here. They can't show you a Moroccan flag yet. They put the crown over Venus. They put the crown over Venus, call that their flag. And then I'm supposed to ride with that. How? Where's my stuff? My stuff's not even... Where's my stuff? This is foreign stuff up here. Imperial Moorish Al-Moroccan American Empire. Crowns, crowns, and more crowns. Oh, there's a little, two little ones right down there. Finally. Finally our flag. But it's not even a thumbnail. It's like a quarter of a thumbnail. Even if they say they got some paper showing some delegated authority, where they been? Prior 2 years ago, you didn't hear about these people. What are they doing? And if they were doing something, why was it secret? Juali took away all the secrets. Juali took away all the secrets. Then where have they been? Because I never heard about these people till this Moore brought it up the other day. Right. We're saying they might have some type of Washita authority. They might have it. Okay. And if they have it, and they're claiming whatever claim they're making, we want to know, where have they been? We haven't heard of you. Imperial Moorish Al-Moroccan Empire? What's that? I don't know what that is. Nibiruans? Niburians? What's a Niburian? What's that? Somebody from Nibiru is a Nibirian? I thought we're Moors. What are you talking about? American natives? What's that? What's the American native? thought those are fiction terms that they used on the red man. Thought that wasn't us. I thought we were the she people. We don't know. All we're saying, we don't know where these people came from. Because it's been Washita. And Washita, from what I know, they fly Moroccan flag. Yeah, they got the Washita flag. That's about it. You know, crowns and all that stuff. All that crown stuff came from Dr. York. But if Dr. York's not around, then where are they getting the authority to use the Dr. York stuff? And then he wasn't parading around with no funny hats and all that stuff. He had the red fez on when he went to court. So if Dr. York had on the red fez when he went to court, and all these other people saying that they're the chiefs of the embassy and the emperors or whatever like that, and they have little fake fezzes on, and Dr. York came out with fez, real fez. None of that ancient Egyptian order of the whatever fezzes. No, it wasn't any of that. Red fez. Think what he was telling, you think he wasn't telling the Nuwapians what was up? Think he wasn't stressing the point? Go back to the foundation. Go back to the foundation. Why do you think they were able to do what they did? Because they're playing all these indigenous native Mason games instead of just being Moors. What you mean? And some European did something. It's his own. It's his own that did something. And him. Red fez at court was a signal. A signal to let all the Nuwapians know where it's at. Where they should put all their energy. Put all their energy to what Noble Drew Ali brought. Forget all the stuff that we were talking about. All that stuff is dead. It's going with me to do 175 years or whatever. So you're going to have to, because anybody else who's telling you about Nuwapi and anything right now, they're probably the sellouts of Dr. York L. They're probably the people who don't go visit him or anything like that. Because crowns is Dr. York's realm. Right, the Al-Moroccan, this is what they have on this page. What is this? What's this? This is the Empire, Imperial, Royal Kingdom, whatever I'm supposed to be repping. This stuff? What's this? This foolishness? This is what the Empire is about. The Imperial Royal Kingdom of the Imperial Moorish Al-Moroccan American Empire. This is what the site looks like. We're supposed to be running to join this. Sovereign state. Amaru Washita. That's it. Like this. Be the first to like this. That's what we're looking forward to. Might as well just keep doing what we're doing then. What the hell is this? Which page was this one? Oh, the Imperial Moorish Yamasee Consulate. Oh, they got consulate? Oh, Mount Ararat Embassy. They got embassy? An embassy like this. This is the embassy. You better study, study, study. Then study yourself. It's not good looking too good for you newbies. You newbies are in trouble. Because if this is what you're bumping into, when you look up Moors, you people are in trouble. Remember when RV Bay was the only thing that used to come up? When you look up Moors, first thing, RV Bay Publications. Imperial Imhotep University. Why you just put Imhotep? Stop playing games. Why are you playing games with people? No Imperial Imhotep University. Just say Imhotep. He's a high priest. He's a Moor. Like, why wouldn't you? You're Moors. Now you butcher his name, making up some stuff. I am Hutip. What is that? What's that? Come on, yo. You guys falling for this stuff? Imhotep is Imhotep. They're playing games with you. Imhotep was the first scholar. So they named their university after Imhotep, which is a great concept. No, ain't nothing wrong. Why don't you just call it Imhotep? You're making up stuff. Sound like some imperial Moorish whatever. If you can't see that it's a game, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably need to just go back to the nigger state. Might as well just go back to the nigger state. So this is some BS right here. I am Hutip. Imhotep. Just stop lying. Right? But they didn't do anything to Imperial. That stayed how it is. And then University, that stays how it is. You didn't think to mess up University too? You have to do your own due diligence. Do not take anything that anybody's telling you as credible. Fact check everybody. This is just a little hour fact check. We've been on this thing just pushing the things, and there's apparent contradictions. One, where's Noble Drew Ali at? We ain't seen a picture of Noble Drew Ali yet. Right? Where's Noble Drew Ali? Where's he at? Spreading nothing. Spread what? No. You got Washita people not even honoring Noble Drew Ali. How crazy that is? Like, especially knowing that Noble Drew Ali is directly related to Washita. You don't even have him on here? You got some crown on here before him?
Put Tahita as number 2, because he was turning back into a chiefest position. Okay? Zarko threw that little spin. I remember we was down in Macon when he proposed to it on the mount. And everybody asked why he looked at me. I said, because I seen that spin he did. He wanted that seat. But Crown Prince wanted the sisters to step up to the plate. So let's get that straight right now. That's why Tahita's name was number 2. Zarko named number 3. So I had to respect that to, respect, because Zarko, tell you straight up, he was living. I gave him permission to exist as that state. Because Crown Prince Ramsey Bay nationalized me as my crew chief Thunderfire. And he said out of his mouth, now nobody can take it from you or steal it from you. Okay? So let's get going. All right, so in this crown, we'll get into that. That's the royal crown. The words is, we're going to just get down to the main nitty-gritty, and we'll go through this another day. All right, so you see it's imperial decree. That's the Yamasee praying man. I'll show you where that came from. Prince Bay gave us that. Crown Prince Ramsey Bay gave us that. That's simple. So I can bring Latigo and tell you that. All right, so that's page 1. Page 2 is showing you another one. The crown with no circle, anything around it. It says the Imperial Royal House of San Samuel Samurai ordained by decree the Imperial Royal House of Tunica Thunderfire for the continent of Moorish Yamasee Empire / Imperial Royal Kingdom. And we are nominals. So I came in and attached all of the bloodlines back together so we ain't got to play all this monkey game out there on the scene. You got Royal bloodline, you got our Moroccan bloodline, you got Yamasee bloodline, and you got Washington Moore bloodline. We're Oman Kingdom nationals, and we're American state citizens, and that's how you recognize on the world, behind the scenes. That's who owned this land, controlled this land. So little things in there we'll get to. This is...
So, they're a royal house and an empire and a kingdom, and they're imperial, and you're still going with this? They say they got 2 hours and 45 minutes left to go of this BS right here. Even Drew Ali's and Dr. Alim's book, he's Washita. Nabi, Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the royal regent of the Empire, Washita, the Duc de Monde Moors, and the 5th Marquis de Maison Rouge, was the founder of the Old Canaanite Temple, 1913, the Holy Moabite Temple of Science of the World, 1916, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, 1916, Moorish Divine National Movement of the World, 1916-1919. Note, during the same year, 1916, the so-called Jewish people established the Zionist movement. The Moorish Temple of Science, 1925-26, and the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928. Note, in 1929, just a year later, the Vatican followed suit and formed a papal state, being incorporated in Rome. Was a family member of the Tunica Turner tribe. Prophet Noble Drew Ali's mother's maiden name was Turner. Her name was Eliza Turner. Before 1910, Timothy Drew, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, was a member of the Moorish Zionist Temple in Brooklyn, New York, founded and established in 1899 by Leon Richelieu. Moorish Zionist Temple, hence the origin of the name Moorish Science Temple of America. Phonetically, Zion sounds close to the word science. Prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1913 moved to New York, New Jersey, formed the Canaanite Temple. Happened to have been the same year that the Federal Reserve Bank, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Birth Certificate Department were all formed. These are not mere coincidences. All Moorish groups are part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Therefore, we of the United Washita, the Dugdamoundia Moors, do not debate on who is the rightful successor. There is no proof of anyone. It is all mere opinions and speculations. Whether it's Edward Mealy Ale, John Givens L., Charles Kirkman Bay, David Ford L., Master Fard Muhammad, the Dingle L. brothers, Timothy and Richardson, or etc. It does not matter. We are all Moors by real law birthright and nationality, blood, heritage, lineage, not by colorable law organizations, societies, or tribal nation affiliations. We are all Moors. Note, it is stated in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, 101 teachings that Prophet Drew Ali was raised up on a Cherokee reservation in the state of North Carolina. The Kohari, remnants of the Cherokees, Tuscaroras, New Sioux Indians that were not moved during the Trail of Tears reservation, is located near the city of Clinton in the county of Sampson in the state of North Carolina. See Dr. Ali Muhammad Bey before he started playing games. Eliza Turner and John A. Drew Whitman played an important role in our heritage. They were part of the landmark court case of the free women and men, also referred to in law as free white persons, who won back 68,883 acres of land in the Louisiana, the court case called United States versus the heirs of Henry Turner Tunica, case 32, United States Appellate Court, 1850, was an appeal to an earlier case won by the heirs of Henry Tunica called the heirs of Henry Turner versus United States, case 191 in 1848. Washita the Dugdamoundia. Then it goes into the case, United States versus Turner's heirs. We'll go back here. Washita the Dugdamoundia. State of Emergency Proclamation. Washita the Dugdamoundia, this 8th day of October, 1992, Empress Verdiashi Tiara Washita Turner Gaston do hereby invoke a state of emergency in, on, under, and over all Washita Maison Rouge properties on this continent and in any other continent for the purpose of human rights and to enforce imperial government, yet respecting the government of the protector as well as the protectoree. Within the 30-day period of transition, I further order that all chemical companies are to cease operations and all shipments be placed on indefinite hold immediately within 36 hours, if not sooner. All crop dusting planes are to be grounded within 12 hours. All nuclear plants are to start the process of going offline, to be shut down, dismantled, and hauled away. The banks are to be regulated and the funds held entrusted within 24 hours. All colorless Americans are to vacate my property within 72 hours. No fire or any other forms of destruction or damages of any properties or lands, nor is there to be any looting whatsoever. And if any of this happens, those persons are dealt with under the penalty of law and the U.S. government is here held financially responsible. We expect you to sign in lawful agreement by the treaty that exists that can be referred by the congressional records of the United States. The United States shall airlift all of their citizens from my land. The United States shall pay my country rent and reparations as per my requests. The United States shall keep all grant and treaty agreements of protectorate as in protecting all of your borders and all other rights that are specified in the treaty regarding the ancient ones, the Washita, the Dugdamondia. This letters from Public State Administration and Department of Justice and to the Washita. So you know that there are Moors. There's the El Bay right there. You know that there are Moors. Statement to the 14th session of the United Nations Working Group on Indigenous Peoples, August 1996. Again, this is just showing you all the work that was done pre-people trying to tell you that they're coming to do some work for you to make sure that you're Moors and they recognize you. Stuff was done already. All you gotta do is be yourself, stop following people. Study, 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 so you could know for yourself and go be yourself. That's all. You don't gotta make this stuff hard. The sovereign people of the Imperial Washita Nation have much experience and documented evidence concerning treaties and agreements between indigenous peoples and states. First, let us say, land is the basis of the sovereignty of all peoples. Until this issue is addressed, all indigenous people are working from a position of weakness and implied inferiority. Treaties, conventions, accords, etc. are international instruments that bear with them specific obligations and responsibilities. Many indigenous people have signed treaties that were pathologically broken and disregarded by dominant powers. Indigenous peoples must have a place for seeking political resolutions before impartial and competent arbitrators acceptable to all primary parties concerned in order to resolve questions of land rights and treaty compliance. In 1992, working peacefully and effectively with the incorporated state officials occupying our lands, we were able to recover the legal title to part of our lands. This includes 68,883 acres of the more than 3 million acres, 30 leagues plus. This land was never ceded to the U.S., and legally belongs to the imperial family based on ratified, not recognized international instruments. To accomplish this great feat, our leader, the Empress of the Washita, conducted over 30 years of research. She gathered copies of all the international treaties, conventions, agreements, observations, land surveys, U.S. Army reconnaissance reports, congressional records, Supreme Court records that affirmed beyond any doubt who the original proprietors of the land were and still are today. All of this information is well documented, and most can be found in a publication entitled Return of the Ancient Ones. We invite the Special Rapporteur studying treaties to review all of our applications as a working model. We, the remnants of the ancient mound-building Moors of Mu, the Aborigines of the Western Hemisphere, maintain double rights, droit, to our land. First, based on the divine natural laws of immemorial occupation and uninterrupted possession that apply to all indigenous people. Our rights date back before the waters separated earth as recorded in the book of Genesis 10:25 in the day of Peleg. Secondly, we respect the laws of nations securing and protecting of perfected contracts between His Royal Majesty the King of Spain and the great-grandfather 5 times removed of the Empress. We have always maintained peaceful relations and trade ties with the ancient seafaring visitors of the so-called New World. We welcome the Egyptians, Nordic Vikings, Chinese, South Pacific Islanders, Phoenicians, Moors, Mandingos, Celts, etc. The Washita were the first natives encountered by the French and the Spanish on arrival in the Common Era. We do not consider ourselves Native Americans, as we here hundreds of thousands of years before Amerigo Vespucci, Cristobal Colon, or the Pilgrims. We are the ancient ones from the lands the big buffalo called Mu. Lastly, with the blessing and grace of the Creator, we will celebrate the 200th anniversary of the legal instruments and forever secure our sovereignty and territorial rights. On behalf of the Empress, Verdiasi, Tiara, Washita, Turner, Gaston, Elbe, we invite the members of this working group and the world to join us in our annual June conferences as we organize cooperative projects with other peoples and states. We extend a special invitation to all indigenous people of the said North America to join in the struggle for the protection of our culture, spiritual, territorial, and human rights. So she talking about all that. She's talking about all that, right? Then how come these Johnny-come-latelys aren't talking? How come the Johnny-come-latelys aren't talking globally? You hear them mention any house of this and whatever? You're sticking to a particular theme, right? The Washita Nation. Washita Nation. Washita Nation. The Washita. United Nations. International. Treaties. There's a theme. The title of the book is First World Order, The Global Past of the Ancient Ones. Researcher, Asuru Alim Nu Tupac Elbe, BA, ADD, DD, RMT, GS, GHP, PR. The First World Order, Dr. Alim.
March 15th, 2019. And y'all who like to do research, y'all can go check the record. And by the end of the month, the Pope was going to Morocco to address this issue. And he said whoever had
Monique
crown,
and Jessica
joined the meeting.
Okay. Whoever had fit this crown will one day rule the world. And that's why my light is coming. I'm emerging. All right, so this is my coat of arms. For those who don't know coat of arms, all roars in the world, they have coat of arms that represent their genealogy, where they come from, and they make their own coats. Y'all know what it is. Well, my coat of arms is where I come from. And this is the universal traveler. Some call him the dweller or a dweller, but that's where I come from. So that's light I bring. This is my royal seal, okay? And you see the feather, the 9, the 6-pointed star, the Ankh, and it has the Wat, the sacred symbol of Wat, our ancestors. So it's just how we roll it with this time. This is when I come in and I claim the Moroccan Empire with the flag flying down. And
this is when he came in and he claimed the Moroccan Empire. Yo, you must have forgot. Let's go back again. Okay, I think they forgot. Ma. I think their ego is blown too big. These my Moors. Everything is my with them. Never we, never us. Always my with these Moors. Magistrate and subject. O thou, the favorite of heaven, whom the Son of Men, thy equals, have agreed to raise to sovereign power, and set as a ruler over themselves, consider the ends and importance of their trusts far more than the dignity and height of thy station. Thou art clothed in purple and seated on a throne. The crown of majesty investeth thy temples. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand. But not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thine own, but for the good of the kingdom. The glory of the king is the welfare of his people. His power and dominion rest on the hearts of his subjects. The mind of a great prince is exalteth with the grandeur of his situation. He revolveth high things, and searcheth for business worthy of his power. He calleth together the wise men of his kingdom. He consulteth among them with freedom, and heareth the opinions of them all. He looketh among his people with discernment. He discovereth the abilities of men, and employeth them according to their merits. His magistrates are just, his ministers are wise, and the favorite of his bosom deceiveth him not. He smileth in the arts, and they flourish. The sciences improve beneath the culture of his hand. With the learned and the ingenious, he delighteth himself. He kindleth in their breasts emulation, and the glory of his kingdom is exalted by their labors. The spirit of the merchant who extendeth his commerce, the skill of the farmer who enricheth his lands, the ingenuity of the artist, the improvements of the scholar, all these he honoreth with his favor, or rewardeth with his bounty. He planteth new colonies, he buildeth new ships, he openeth rivers of convenience, he formeth harbors for safety. His people abound in riches, and the strength of his kingdom increaseth. He frameth his status with equity and wisdom. His subjects enjoy the fruits of their labor in security, and their happiness consists in the observance of the law. He foundeth his judgments on the principles of mercy, but in the punishment of offenders he is strict and impartial. His ears are open to the complaints of his subjects. He restraineth the hands of their oppressors, and he delivereth them from their tyranny. His people therefore look to him as a father, with reverence and love. They consider him as a guardian of all they enjoy. Their affection into him begetteth into the breast a love of the public. The security of their happiness is the object of his care. No murmurs against him arise in their hearts. The machinations of his enemies endanger not the state. His subjects are faithful and firm in his cause. They stand in his defense as a wall of brass. The army of a tyrant fleeth before them, as chaff before the wind. Security and peace bless and dwelling of his people, and glory and strength encircle his throne forever. So if they're not about the people, they're a demon in disguise. If they're not about all that, looking out for you first, forget them. They already got the power. They're officials elected by you. How come they're not looking out for you? How come they're looking out for themselves? How come they look out for themselves? They're not looking out for you. Probably want to check those people. Don't fall for the game. Nobody's the man. And nobody's going to bring anything for you that's going to save you, because nobody brought it all already. So anything that anyone brings, they probably copy it off him and just not mentioning his name, like certain people who we've been reviewing their stuff for the past hour or whatever. They even show you a picture of the prophet on their website. Talking about their Moors. Moors where? Which Moors? Moors from what? What Moors are they? They don't even have Noble Drew Ali's picture up there. Honors to all the Moors, the faithful. Honors to the faithful Moors. Peace and love. Happy solstice to all the Moors. Don't forget we got 3 days. 3 days, Jesus going in the tomb and all that is going down right now. So go in your tomb, go get charged up, because it's about to be on. You know it's about to be on. So get ready before you're made to do so. Honors to all the mothers worldwide. Peace and love to all the Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam.